Hello, and welcome to the Chaplaincy's Pause for Thought. There are a growing number of backbench Conservative MPs challenging their own government because it wants to pass new laws which will limit our rights to see our family and friends. They argue that if the government want to do this, it should be debated and voted on in Parliament rather than just decided by ministers. And before we just dismiss this as another political squabble, I think there is something much more fundamentally important about this point. In a democracy, no government should be able to take away people's freedoms, even with good reason, without popular democratic support. Freedoms are hard won and so easily lost. There is always a good reason to manage others, to get them to conform or to stop them being a nuisance. But we should be quick to caution that there is a downside to all this that can so easily take on a life of its own before we know it. Over the last few years, the quality of the way that we speak to and about each other has deteriorated. Today, people feel free to say things openly and to express themselves in ways that humiliate and devalue others. More and more, my opinion trumps everything else, even if it's expressed in the most unpleasant way and has no reasonable foundation whatsoever. It's my right, we hear all too often. At the chaplaincy, we are called to stand alongside the marginalised. We see beauty in difference, and if I'm honest, the temptation to want to silence all these noises that stoke up division and confrontation is very strong indeed. I could think of lots of good reasons to do it, but that wouldn't make it right. Perhaps a fundamental part of education, and community living for that matter, is the freedom to express and test our views in open discussion with one another. That's the way our wildest ideas are tempered and our timidity is strengthened. But the choice does not need to be freedom of speech or no freedom of speech. We just need to rediscover our freedom to act kindly towards one another and to do justice to other people's views, even when we disagree with them. At the entrance of a holiday park, which is near my home, there is a big sign which reads, "Sun, Sand and Freedom." To be honest, I think it's pushing it a bit to raise expectation of the sun shining in rainy South Wales. I suppose the sea is a safe bet, but we will need more than fresh air to ensure our freedoms. To do that, we will have to exercise our responsibilities and rights to respect the freedom of others and to understand that to live together in community, we will have to sacrifice the tendency in us all to think that we are always right. Thank you for listening, and peace be with you.